we're supposed to do something.
At 7 o'clock, our meeting is down session. Did you call the roll?
Kathy Christian. Here. Keith Dixon. James Grigsby. Here. Ken Lester.
Here.
Buck Tipton.
Here.
Michael Walker.
Here.
Dennis Gill.
Here, we'd like to welcome everyone out tonight. If everyone would stand for the invocation.
Father, we thank you for another opportunity to meet together as representatives of this city. Pray, Lord, that you just guide us and lead us this evening to make these decisions. Lord, be to those that are sick and hurting in this holiday season. Lord, help us to remember what we celebrate this season. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody have any committee report? If not, city recorder's report. Two.
Alright, for our cash on hand investment report, our total checking accounts in First Community Bank are as follows. Our general fund is $4,095,055.59. Sewer fund is $2,866,349.14. Pool fund, $42,627.89. Sewer depreciation fund, $57,294. Drug fund is $34,812.41. Our state street aid fund, $103,370.67. On our savings accounts at First Community Bank, general contingency fund, $63,053.88. General savings fund is $45,279.58. Restricted reserve is $45,056.90. Sewer hardship fund, $16,129.90. Senior fitness insurance savings fund, $17,501.53. Our local government investment fund, 137955-1, $790.35. Local government investment fund, 137955-10 is $290.88. Our CDs at First Community Bank, we have General Fund 1 and 2, both at $1,390,000. General Fund Contingency CD is $1,385,000. Sewer depreciation CD is $1,035,000. For a total in all accounts is $12,857,612.72.
Anybody got any questions? No, I have nothing under old business, do
Mayor, I think you need to approve the minutes.
we? Okay, we have a motion to approve last month's minute.
I'll make a motion to approve last month's meeting.
We have a motion, second, discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
No? I guess that's all we got under old business. I guess that's thing we need, Chris, is swearing in people.
Y'all have each been given an oath to help follow along. First, I'll swear the mayor in. Mayor, if you would stand, please. Repeat after me.
I need to raise my right hand.
Yes, sir. Raise your right hand.
I, Dennis Deal,
Having been duly elected mayor
have been duly elected mayor
of the city of Churchill,
of the city of Churchill,
Hawkins County, Tennessee,
Hawkins County, Tennessee,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution
that I will support and defend the Constitution
of the state of Tennessee
of the state of Tennessee
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
that I will faithfully
and
impartially
impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
to the best of my
to
ability,
the best of my ability,
and that all of my official acts
and that all my official acts
and doings
and doings
shall be directed
shall be directed
toward the betterment
toward the betterment
of the general welfare of the community.
of the general welfare of the community.
You can put your hand down, and I present you with your certificate of election.
Thank you.
Now, let's see, Ms. Christian, Mr. Grigsby, and Buck Tipton are our three newly elected alderpersons.
You're good.
Please stand. And following the mayor's suit, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
Gregory Tipton.
having been duly elected alderman
Have been duly elected alderman
of the city of Churchill,
of the city of Churchill,
Hawkins County, Tennessee,
Hawkins County, Tennessee,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the state of Tennessee
of the state of Tennessee
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties of my office
discharge the duties of my office
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
and that all of my official acts
and all my official acts
and doings
and doings
shall be directed toward
shall be directed toward
the betterment of the general welfare of the community.
the betterment of the general welfare of the community.
Thank you. Now, let's see. Ms. Christian, this is your certificate of election. And, Mr. Grigsby, that's yours. Mr. Tipton, there's yours. Thank you all very much, and I want to thank you all for allowing me to serve this past year as attorney for the city. I appreciate it.
You could really serve as our Santa Claus doing our birthday. We don't have to have fake beards, do we? If y'all would look at your agenda, the update on job descriptions, we strike that tonight and we'll have it prepared for January's meeting. So, we've not got that ready yet. And also, we had the striping bid, and if you look at Superior Pavement, Marketing Company in Knoxville, Tennessee was $21,850. And Highway Marketing Company in Knoxville, Tennessee was $18,513. Superior is one that has already done our striping, what we've done this year. So we would recommend to stay with Superior to get the rest of this striping done. So we have a motion on striping for Superior Pavement.
I'll make a motion.
The motion, we have a second. We just know the work they do, and we think it's better for the taxpayer. Any more discussion? Call roll.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
James Grigsby. Yes. Ken Wester,
Yes.
Buck Tipton,
Yeah.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
Ken Smith.
And the next thing we have is we're gonna open for nominations for vice mayor while we're here tonight, and Buck Tipton has really done a fantastic job helping me with the city. It requires a lot of meetings. So, I reckon I can make a motion, and then we'll leave it, somebody else has someone else, but my motion is, let Buck as vice mayor of the city of Churchill. Do we have any more nominees, anybody want? If you do, you can speak now.
I'm gonna nomination cease.
And you'd further move that he be elected by acclamation.
Yes, sir.
So is that your second motion?
Yes,
Any more discussion? It requires a lot of work, and I know some of the people on the board, spend a lot of time, and, really, you gotta be retired to do that job. I mean, that's the way it is. Requires a lot of time, and Buck's done a lot of things for our park down there, and, we're moving forward on it, so, it's a good thing. So, maybe more discussion? Call the roll.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Ken Lester,
Yes.
Buck Tickler,
Yeah.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
Lee Scott.
And I guess outside of that, we got our parade over with, had a good turnout there. Thank the good Lord, nobody got hurt.
Got an ordinance.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
Can I just say, our team at the city did an awesome job. So with the parade and the Santa, the fire truck run, I loved it. It was fabulous, and I really appreciate being able to do it. I've been on the Santa run the past couple of years, and it is amazing. I absolutely love it, and might suggest that maybe even have a planning committee or something so that we can help the girls, because they've got a lot to do with just their regular work, so that's something about.
We've got real good response on the parade, we've got a good response on the Santa run last Saturday. I had one individual call me on the lower end and said, well, I thought Santa was coming. I was fixing to call Chad to see where you guys were at, I think you were on the lower end. He couldn't find out, they just hadn't got to his street yet. I called him back, I said, well, there's a couple streets down from yours, and, I said, you wanna wait till they get there? And he said, no, we're going out there, we're leaving now. I said, we can't hog tie and keep it on, so.
Well, and, you know, we think about the children, but I have a lady that stopped me and her husband has dementia, and it's really bad. And she said, Kathy, I wish you could have seen him. He heard the sirens, and he jumped up and he ran outside, and he was like, come on with me, it's Santa. And she was in tears, and she said just to see the joy in his face. So it's not just for the kids, other than just for me. It's not just the kids, but even the older folks, the look on their face, and just, because we see some of them that are in the windows and they can't even tell that we can see them, but even, you know, they just light up when they see it, so.
And I also want to thank the city staff for helping
Yes.
get this together on the parade and the Santa run. We finished up at the nursing home, and all those folks, they brought them outside, and we were able to give them some things, and we told them we couldn't come in because of COVID, and they recommended us not come in anyway, but some of those folks down there that live there, it was amazing. They're just tickled to death. It's a good thing at Christmas. I don't know what else they do down there, but that may be all the Christmas they'll see. I don't know. But anyway, and thank everyone for your help in that, and remember what Christmas is for. Next, I have ordinance 24-523, ordinance City of Churchill, Tennessee, amending 2025 budget, 2024-2025 budget. Your budget amendment number 1. You want to read that, Craig?
Whereas the city of Churchill has adopted the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget by passage of ordinance number 24-519. And whereas pursuant to the Tennessee State Constitution, Section 24 of Article 2, no public money shall be expended except pursuant to appropriations made by law. And whereas pursuant to the municipal budget law of 1982, as found in Tennessee Code annotated Section 5-55-56-209, the mayor and aldermen have the authority to authorize the budget office to transfer monies from one appropriation to another within the same fund. And whereas expenses and revenues for the governmental funds will be greater than anticipated. And now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Churchill, Tennessee, that changes be made to the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget as follows. Section 1, ordinance number 24-519 is hereby amended, increasing or decreasing the following: general fund revenue, and these will all be increases except for net change in fund balance. Revenue, intergovernmental revenue, 20,000. Senior Center Major Grant, 90,000. CD interest, 3,877. Total revenues, 113,877. Expenditures, police, 4,550. Fire, 29,795. Codes payroll, 3,294. Highway and street vehicles, $536,536. Solid waste vehicle, $236,510. Senior center equipment, $4,884. Total expenditures and other financing uses, $810,685, for a net change in fund balance, a decrease of $696,808. State Street Aid Fund, expenditures in paving, $349,473, which is the net change in fund balance. Revenue, CD interest, $5,638. Savings interest of $200, total revenues of $55,838. Expenditures, communications, $8,600, maintenance, $5,400, operating equipment, $70,910. Total expenditures and other financing uses, $133,510, which is a net change in fund balance of negative $77,672. Board of Mayor and Aldermen authorizes the city recorder to make said changes in the accounting system. The ordinance shall take effect immediately upon final passage, the public welfare requiring it. This is the first reading today.
What's the pleasure on ordinance 24-523? What this is where we bought things, like we bought a new garbage truck and stuff like that, we're just bringing our monies up to date. We have to do that minimum. So, what's the pleasure on ordinance 24-523? That motion, Doc?
I make a motion we adopt ordinance 24-523.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? So the final reading will be in January's meeting, correct?
Yes.
Any more discussion? Call the roll, please.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Ken Lester,
Yes.
Buck Tipton,
Yes.
Michael Walker, Ben Stick.
We got anything else? We will. That's what I was gonna do. I apologize, if anybody wants to address the board, come tonight, you can stand up and give your address and address them for anything. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Rick Jennings. I guard your western border. I'm a resident down at 215 Cardinal Way. Proud resident, city of Churchill. Want to commend you gentlemen and your predecessors. I think I'm proud to be, I'm a resident of Churchill by choice. I have the distinction, as I grew up in Lynn Garden with your mayor there and went to high school with him. But, I just want to come before the board and start a general discussion. As a resident of Churchill, if I want a beer with my taco, I gotta go to Mount Carmel or Rogersville to spend my money. And I think as a resident of Churchill, I don't enjoy the opportunities that people in the neighboring cities and townships are able to enjoy. And the Mexican restaurant right across from me has never been able to get a beer license. Because I think, you have like a 2,000-foot restriction from a school or
It's
something?
1,200, ain't it, Chris?
I'm not sure the
It's
distance.
two, I don't
There
know.
is a distance prohibition.
Well, I researched it a little bit and understand that the other communities or the other cities and towns in Hawkins County, namely Sigornsville, Mount Carmel and Rogersville have a restriction that is less than 500 feet. And folks, I don't want to send my tax dollars to Mount Carmel and Rogersville. But the city of Church Hill is forcing me to do that. And we could probably talk all night about the logic that you can't see Volunteer High School from the restaurant and vice versa. And I just understand in doing more research that 2 years ago, we lost a barbecue restaurant because of the same restriction. And again, y'all do a great job here. I brag about what Church Hill does and what they do with the money and how clean it is and how well kept the streets are. I grew up in Kingsford, and you blow them away, you know. And like I said, I moved here by choice and am a proud resident of Church Hill. But somehow, the city of Church Hill don't have any problem with people having a meal and having alcohol. I don't know how many years back, but we voted in liquor with a drink, if I'm correct. And you can presently go get a liquor, that restaurant down there could probably get a liquor license and sell liquor in that building. I remember reading about the guy up here next to Patsy's that actually did that, went to the state, got a liquor license. And he could sell liquor in that building, but Church Hill said he couldn't serve a beer. And I just don't think it's fair to the citizens of the city of Church Hill that I can't go eat a taco and drink a beer in a restaurant that you can't even see a school from. And I just want to put that in front of y'all. Is there any way that, one, we can make it easier for restaurants to do business in the city of Church Hill? And me as a citizen of Church Hill, not have to drive to Rogersville or Mount Carmel to get me some Mexican food or a pizza or whatever it happens to be and enjoy a beer with my meal. Then I'm not doing this for anybody that's wanting to open a restaurant. Not doing it for the guy I guess you all know that the guy in Mount Carmel is opening, since the other Mexican restaurant moved out, he's opening number 2, and he's chosen to do it in that building that other restaurant just moved out of. And I love their food up there, so I called up there and I said, hey, when you guys get down here in Church Hill, which is right across the street from my house, can I get me a beer? And they said, no, you can't do it. And he said the state won't let me do it, which he didn't really understand, that the state didn't have anything to do with it, that it's a city ordinance. It won't let beer be sold in that building. And I just bring it to you for the residents of Church Hill. Can you make life easier for us and keep these tax dollars in the city of Church Hill? And I guarantee you, my part, it's a lot of them, because we eat out all the time, and I'm gonna have me some Mexican food 1 or 2 nights a week, and I'm being forced to spend my tax dollars in another township or city in Hawkins County to do so. And that's where I request that y'all consider revising that, whatever it is, law or whatever, to allow that to happen. I'm trying to look at stuff real logically, and I'm not sure why a car is driving from Volunteer past this restaurant and people in there enjoying a meal and a beer. I don't see the harm in that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. What is the distance, Chris? You remember?
I'd have to look there.
I think it's 1,200 feet the way the crow flies.
12 to 15. It is high. We've looked at it before.
Yeah.
I think they should
What,
readjust it.
and Rick, what is Mount Carmel's distance?
I think it's like 400 feet or something. I mean, I do know for a fact, and I'm referencing an old Times News or Rogersville Review article that listed the distances, and it was back to 22 when you all denied the barbecue restaurant. But all 3 of them, Mount Carmel, Sigornsville, and Rogersville, were less than 500 feet.
So even if that be the case, Volunteer, it would still be too close to it.
No, Volunteer is much further than 500 feet.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, considerably.
Our ordinance says church and school, and there's a church right there on the corner too. Elm Springs.
Not Elm Springs.
Pleasant Chapel.
Is that Pleasant Chapel? Yeah.
But I mean, if you all adopted the same thing our sister cities have, there's not anything within 500 feet of that restaurant building that I'm aware of. You know, at one time I wanted to do an overlay of the city of Churchill and see if this law blocks out any restaurant from locating in Churchill and selling alcohol. I don't know where it would be. Anywhere in Churchill where they could do that, if they wanted.
Well, the liquor, but the drink, they went to the state and got that.
Right, but that's the irony of the situation. They could go down there in that Mexican restaurant and sell hard liquor, and they could actually sell beer as long as it was high gravity beer.
Yeah.
So they can do that. They can bypass these by going to the state. But for the state to allow liquor in that building and Churchill won't allow beer in that building, it's not logical to me. And to me, I feel that you're, as a citizen of Churchill, I'm not being granted the opportunities that citizens of the neighboring cities have in terms of enjoying a taco and a beer.
It is 1,200 feet, and the last way that we measured it was as the bird flies, if I remember right. And that was when Rebel Yell was trying to open and get their beer permit.
Yeah, it is.
And my statement then was the same as it would be with this. I mean, I would rather have some control as no control. And when we voted it down last time, I think it was a 2-5 vote, if I'm not mistaken, that we voted it down to 2-4, 5 against. You know, she did exactly that. She opened the bar. She had, you know, and it didn't last. And I don't know if that was, you know, here or there, but why it didn't last. But you know, she did get her exactly what she's talking about. She did get her liquor license. She sold liquor by the drink. They had karaoke parties and barred all night and motorcycle parties, everything you can think of, and just went ahead with it, you know. So, but it is, I think, if I'm not mistaken,
1,200.
Well,
The last ordinance, they requested it to be changed to 800 was the.
yeah.
and it
But if I'm not mistaken, I think we measured that as the crow flies.
It is, that is correct. I
Yeah.
do know that for a fact.
And that, you know, that they were within, I think you're right, I think it was like 780 some feet, something like that, so they requested it to be 800 or so, I believe, I have to look back, but I mean, I'm with you, my friend, I mean, I don't drink, I don't, and I'm not saying that's, you know, good, bad, whatever, you know, each person their own with that, that's your own personal preference, but I do eat it, I eat out every weekend. I made my wife a promise she didn't have to cook on weekends. We got married 10 years ago, and we eat out Saturdays and Sundays, and every restaurant that we go to, they serve it. So, I mean, I stand by what I've said for years now. You know, for me to vote against it is almost hypocritical in my opinion, but, you know, I'd rather the city have some control over it and allow some versus having none over it when they get a liquor license, so.
Well, we can look into it, Chris, and, look at it down the road. The only thing that we had on the stage though is that facility we're talking about, that was built in an R1. And trust me, we had several problems, did we, Chad?
Yes, sir.
I don't know, to this day, I don't know how that facility got to be an R1. But it did create a lot of problems for our policemen and a lot of complaints in an R1. You just don't put a bar in the middle of an R1 and I'm sure all people look like that. That's where we're at, but we'll look at it and see.
Yeah, I wasn't asking for a bar or anything else, you know, I mean, I went up, and again, we eat out all the time. My wife works, so I tell her she don't have to cook, but we eat out about every meal. But right now, I can't do it in Churchill, because I'm gonna eat me some Mexican food, I'm gonna enjoy a beer with it.
Well, if truth's known, now that you said that Churchill Streets is better than Lane Garden, you probably can't do it in Lane Garden either.
Well, I'm not going to Lynn Garden either. I got a lot of reasons not to go there. But I can guarantee you, this week, I'll be in Rogersville or I'll be in Mount Carmel spending my money, giving my tax dollars, so I can enjoy the meal I want to enjoy. And that just, as great as Churchill is, and if I had any complaint, that would probably be my only one. And I just can't help it, there's not a lot more citizens would enjoy being able to do that and keep the money home. I mean, I opened a business down here, and, it's still operating today. I sold my business, but we employ about 55 people. And, like I said, I'm the westernmost house in Church Hill. I'm guarding the border down there for everybody, and I'd love to go across the street and get me a taco and a beer. And that's the only reason I'm here. I ain't gonna make no money off of this. You're just gonna make my life easier and save me some gas and let me give my money to Church Hill instead of somebody else. That's what I'm saying.
Well, and I gotta go back to what Michael says, you know, when that took place down here at the barbecue and they brought in liquor for the drink. You want, the municipality wants control, some sort of control. I'm not saying control, but you wanna have an input when businesses does come in. And basically, when you go to liquor and drink, our input's over with then. And I've had this conversation with the chief, you just don't want it. It's not good for your community. So, Chris, you look into it and look at other municipalities and we'll look at it.
Just think we're at a competitive disadvantage to the other communities and icing on the revenue that it would bring.
Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the city employees and Aldermen Electric for getting the Christmas lights up, and getting them on poles, getting them installed.
Fantastic.
We've had a lot of good people liking the new decoration and I want to go with what Doug said. I want to thank Ocean Electric that allowed us to do that this year. It really looks good all over Churchill, I think. But I'm prejudiced, but it does look good. And what I like is our lighting, even on our buildings, is consistent with the lighting on Main Street, which makes it uniform and look much better too. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, I got something, guys. I know Will here since he is 5, 6 years old, but he said something the other day that really stuck out on me, how much he cares for this city. And I told him, I said, I really appreciate you just to be a little boy running around and what he does now, and I really appreciate it.
Or are you still saying he's a little boy? Oh, okay. Yeah, Will's done a fantastic job. He really has, and Will knows I'm joking. Will's a good, he's done a lot of good for kids, and he tells.
Yes.
Anything else, entertain a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.